Hey everybody. First Majestic just reported earnings. I want to kind of talk about, I highlighted some stuff, went through the press release, and they did not release their 10K yet, so I might make a video later today or tomorrow going over that. But for now, let's go over First Majestic. Two things: I own this company, I have shares in it, I am biased. Second thing, I'm not some advisor, I'm not some whatever, I'm just some dude talking. So let's just get that out of the way. Let's be clear, this is just for entertainment purposes. So First Majestic reports third quarter financial results, record revenues, cash flow, and earnings. Before we do that, I kind of just want to go over to their slide sheet thing. I didn't really go through this too much. However, if this is your first time learning about silver, just know that a lot of products use silver and it's going to be needed in the future, especially if you guys all love your electric cars. There are parts in the electric car, especially a lot of solar panels and battery packs need silver. It's a very important metal, and demand in the future, I see a very large increase. AG, obviously, First Majestic is a silver miner. They reduce the silver, they take it out of the ground and sell it. So that's just some basics. Let's go back to this paper with this press release. I have some things highlighted. I just want to talk about it, or I want to read it over and then we will talk about it briefly. They achieved record quarterly revenue of 125 million, representing a 30% increase due to higher metal prices and the sale of 25 million worth of stockpile metal inventories held over from the prior quarter. One thing that Keith did, the CEO did from last quarter, was when silver was selling for like $10, like $7. I don't think I said like $11 an ounce or something. He wasn't selling that. He recognized that there was something going on, and there was. Larger banks were spoofing the price. So what Keith did, he's like, nah, I'm not selling. So he ended up keeping a lot of inventory and reporting, I guess, almost like a bigger loss last quarter. Because he did this, he was able to realize an average gain for the silver price right now. So his average was $22.50 this quarter, as opposed to last quarter. It could have been so much lower just because they were being forced to sell at cheaper prices because of price spoofing. And I guess there's other things too, like obviously people started liquidating the metal more and stuff because of the crash. They need to raise capital. But Keith recognized that it's just a smart move in my opinion. He took a loss last quarter to greatly increase his revenue this quarter, just because he held onto all that metal because he knew it was worth more than what he was selling it for. Just keep that in mind. I like the CEO, he's smart, he knows his products. The adjusted EPS was about 12 cents after excluding non-cash and record item. Wall Street anticipated a 12.5 cent EPS, so it was basically on pace. I'm not sure how the market's going to react to that. As of right now, it's like 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the morning. The stock's up like 5%. Ended the quarter with a record 230 million in cash. That's pretty awesome. We'll talk about that again in a second. He kind of highlights it more down there in comparison to previous quarters. This is what he said. I just want to talk about it, or just read it over because I think it's pretty important. We generated record quarterly revenues, cash flows, and earnings as a result of higher metal prices, improved production rates, good cost control management, and a decision to delay the sale of inventory from the prior quarter. Along with our record cash and working capital position, the company is poised to close out the 2020 as one of the strongest years in the company's 18-year history. Now, obviously, I always like to keep in mind, like, I'm pretty biased. I have this company, but I'm trying to find, again, like, ways. Like, I'm not trying to just sound all happy and giddy. This is the press release. This is supposed to sound pretty good relatively to just looking at the 10K. But this sounds pretty great. Record revenue, not just because the metal increase in prices, but also because they're being more efficient. They might close out this year as one of the strongest in the company's history. That's pretty crazy coming from, and I guess important coming from the CEO. Now, one thing to keep in mind is, like, is this going to continue? And I think so. That's why I'm invested in it. But at the same time, like, I like to, again, try to remain unbiased where I can. But coming from Keith's the man. Here's some operational and financial highlights. One thing I want to point out, we can go through a lot of it, but if we go down to the financial, here's where they said the cash equivalents. From Q2, they basically made 95 million. Basically nothing. That's again because they weren't selling at a lot of prices. So what I want to compare it more to is to last quarter, Q3 2019. It's basically a 100% increase from that, which is really good. But again, that's just cash on hand, so it's gotta look at other metrics too. The revenue from Q3 as opposed to last year was up 30%. You know, all these numbers are basically up, especially mining operating earnings, earning more from the mine. Let's go to EPS. EPS is up 105% from last year, this quarter. Good stuff. Last year, I'm just gonna check their time real quick. Last year, this time, the stock price was about $10. Is that right? Yep. Right now, it's about the same price. So double EPS, about the same price. It's kind of, you got to keep that in mind. But also, they had a lot less cash and up 30% revenue from that time too. So it feels like a stronger company. I'm mostly not concerned. I'm mostly interested in the silver ounces produced. They produced 3.1, I guess, is that million, and as opposed to a 6% decrease from Q3 last year. But at the same time, they also were able to sell it at a much higher price. Average realized price right here. Yeah. Is that the one? Yep. Cost per ounce. Yep. $22 and $22.50, and last year was $17. 28% increase in the price of silver. They were able to increase the price of silver by 28% on average. Okay, let's go down. Yeah, one thing I just want to keep in mind, adjusted EPS is a non-GAAP measurement. There also are some other non-GAAP measurements here. I guess all this is, but at the same time, it helps to be company specific and just analyze the company in a little bit better way. But again, it is a non-GAAP measurement. Here's they're just going to go over basically kind of what we just said in a little bit more intelligent way. I think reading the chart's a little easier. However, I'm going to highlight this. The increase in cash and cash equivalents was attributed to strong cash generated from operations. 112 million in proceeds from prospectus offering, including a 58 million investment by Eric Sprott. This guy's awesome. He's smart. I try to watch all of his interviews online because he's just a smart guy, and he's heavily into this mining and gold space. I take his opinion pretty good, thoughtfully, because wealthy and smart guy. 7.3 million proceeds from exercise stock options. Okay, let's go. So, operational highlights, third quarter production summary. I just want to take a look at the total production cost per whatever. If we take a look at like silver, I don't know why I highlighted that, my bad. The silver equivalent ounces produced. I'm kind of just curious like how big this mine is. I'm actually not entirely sure the difference between silver equivalent and silver ounces. If someone wants to let me know, I'm kind of confused. I guess I'll look it up real quick. Yeah, okay, no, I'm not entirely sure what the difference between this and this is. If someone wants to let me know, please let me know. But I'm kind of just curious where their biggest mine is. San Dimas, I think, is the larger mine. That produces the most, so just gotta keep that in mind when looking at where these mines are located, because I guess we'll go to it real quick. They have a tax dispute in Mexico. Something's going on over here. I'm not sure if their mine's gonna be seized or something, but basically something's going on. So it's kind of important to keep in mind where these mines are, or at least where their large mines are, to make sure they're not going to be affected by certain jurisdiction laws or something. I know we're jumping around really quick, but I kind of want to just talk about this real quick. So you see the top shareholders. Eric Sprott, he's got 2.3% of the whole company. That's just one dude. I think he has his Sprott investments. I don't know. He actually owns more than Keith. Yeah, I think he has. I don't know if this is his company or this is him personally, but he does have a company investing company. 52-week high and low. Wow, that's actually really. It was at $4 at some point. Now it's at the highest of 14. All right, let's go back to here so we don't keep jumping around. Let's talk about pandemic stuff real quick. All three companies' operations have resumed to normal. However, they are continually to grant paid leave to vulnerable employees. This is classified as approximately 11% of the workforce in all three mines, and that's they kind of wait. Where is it? Yeah, this is where they go into what is considered a vulnerable employee, but about 8% of their workforce, granting paid leave. That's just a bunch of extra revenue going to people. I mean, I'm not saying it's like a bad thing. I'm just saying it is what it is. The money is to go there. Hopefully that resumes soon, I guess, or the company or the workers get back to work safely. I think we already discussed this, but we're kind of nearing the presentation or the discussion for right now. But again, these are all products that use silver. It's a very important metal. Gold to silver ratio for the last, this is from 1971 on average, it's about maybe 60 to 1 or something, and it hit a high of 124. It's at 72 right now. It's probably falling. I don't know when this actually, as of March, no, my bad, that March was at the 124. It's much lower now. However, the long-term average, again, like we're just relatively above the gold silver ratio. So you typically gold and silver, again, they're gonna be within some number. Keith predicts that it's gonna be more like, I forgot what he said actually, but he said like $100 silver, just based on if gold increases to a certain value, silver will have to, or not, doesn't have to, it usually follows, especially if like demand and stuff is picking up. Obviously that's a little speculation, but he's in the business of selling silver, and he sees a lot more information than we all see. You can see who is buying the silver, what they're using it for, and he can kind of get an estimate of demand or estimate predictions about how much demand is going to be needed in the future. Yeah, I really like this company. I definitely want to look at the 10K just to get more information specifically, because again, these press releases and all this information, they don't usually tell you all the bad things. They do sometimes, but I think, to me, I'm a numbers guy. I like to look at specifically the numbers, see what's up. Yeah, as of right now, AG's up 5.5%. My position relative to the portfolio is already kind of large. Like, I don't want to be overexposed in it. However, I am not confident, I want to say that, but I like this company. I like what they're doing, and I want to be a part of it if it does increase in value a lot. And I want it to heavily impact my portfolio if it does, because I feel like it's got much potential for a couple of years. One thing is, I just want to talk about this to get it off my chest. I traded this a while ago, maybe a year ago. I bought it at like $7. It went to like 9 or 10. And I was like, wow, bro. Yeah, I guess like $9. So I just got out. Made like, I guess 25%, 20% increase, or 20% like trade. And then my average cost now is like $12. So as I got back in, I was like, oh, this company is a lot better than I thought. And just making weird decisions, but I guess I'm net zero. But anyway, we'll make another video later talking about, I guess, their 10K, go really in depth with it, or try to be. Again, I'm just a guy talking. I'm not like, take my advice with a grain of salt. This is more of just, I'm just reading this over with you as like a friend or something. Kirkland Gold has their earnings today as well. Big day, very exciting. I'm gonna have to read over this. I might be spamming a bunch of videos today, but it's all very important information. But waiting for this for like a month or two, maybe 2 months, I don't even know. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know what you guys thought below. A little bit different style of video. I think I like this better. I was really not getting annoyed, but I didn't like the content I was making. Something was lacking, and hopefully this is a little bit better. So anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you.